Welcome back, everyone. We have a very, very important day today. Today marks the first day of the second quarter. Bitcoin, right? It's going to react to these quarters that we have, right? We have a quarter every 4 months for those of you that are not on the same page. But before I get into this, right, we got to talk about what's the sentiment for today. What do I see happening today? All right. I see slightly bearish sentiment today in the charts. We saw bearish yesterday. We are probably going to be needing to get into more detail, still long-term in the downtrend. And we're going to need to focus on that. We'll get more into that. But yeah, a little bearish today on the chart sentiment. But on the news sentiment, right, is looking a bit bullish. And why is that? First of all, let's talk about quarters, okay? So we have not seen Bitcoin have such a bad quarter as it did in quarter two. This is the worst quarter two that we've ever had. I know it is blank. I believe it was 17% down in this quarter, or more than that, or 17, or I think it was 60 or 70%. I forgive me. I need to look at my thing. Quarter two, Bitcoin lows percent. All right, so let's see. Someone in the chat can just put it for me real quickly. I think it's 40%. Right, sorry. Let me go into the chat real quick. Sorry. All right, but basically, okay, stop wasting time. Forgive me. We see that normally when we have this run up, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 bullish quarters in a row. Last time that we've had that, right, we're going to look at this from a bullish and bearish scenario. Right, last time we had 4 bullish quarters in a row. We had 3 bearish quarters in a row. But you have to understand, why are quarters important? Why is the day of a quarter important? We'll get into the bullish scenario as well. It's when these fund managers, when these institutions, they rebalance portfolios. They will do lots of their movement across the board on their finance at the end of quarters, right? And we'll see a lot of things come out today, come out tomorrow, and probably throughout the week because it is the end of a quarter. This is how it works with a lot of these companies. So make sure to pay attention over the next few days. But we do have some bullish news that supports. We could have some run up here in the next week or so based off this news. But you know what? Charts are still looking bearish, right? Sentiment on charts are still looking bearish. But we'll get into that later. Okay, so this is the count that all bears want to see something happening. Right, this is someone posted some sort of fib with Fibonacci with Elliott wave as well down. Let me see. Yes, I barely see it. It's too blurry. I can barely read it as well. But let's get into the news. We'll come back to that. All right. Let me drink some water. All right, so this is what could be somewhat bullish, as some might see. So the NCR opens Bitcoin purchase to 650 banks and credit unions. They post this right at the end of the quarter. Like we said, important. The end of a quarter is important. $6 billion NCR opens Bitcoin purchases to 650 banks. We could see this transpire on retail FOMO, but $6 billion isn't enough to really move the markets for crypto, right? We need to see a lot more than 6 billion to see some sort of push in the market. But this could give a retail incentive to buy as more adoption per se is listed. I do believe in Bitcoin, guys, but that's just not enough money to really see push up the market too much just with that article alone. We have Coinbase approved to enter German cryptocurrency markets. This is very, very big. Germany has the largest bank in Europe. And let's get into the other article as well. Soros Fund Management is said to be trading Bitcoin. This happened yesterday. Okay, so they're going to trade Bitcoin. I believe they are based out of Europe as well. And they're one of the largest funds, which is pretty interesting. They're going to be trading Bitcoin. So expect volatility to possibly go up with them trading Bitcoin as well. This is the one. Okay, so German introduces a new law that allows funds to invest in crypto. This is 20th of May. When are they allowed to do this? June 1st or July 1st, which is today. So how much money exactly are they allowed to invest into Bitcoin? It's around, let's scroll down here. Let's get to the important stuff. I believe it's around $1.6 trillion that they have. Wait. Sorry, I'm butchering this, guys. Give me a second. But basically, as much as $350 billion can start entering crypto market this Thursday after law passed that forces Germany into being able to do this. The new fund locations allows 4,000 existing special funds as well to spend new money to invest into 20% of Bitcoin and Ethereum. It's pretty interesting, right? It's pretty interesting. That could be some sort of push that we could see from that news exactly. If they are going to invest, they might wait for lower prices. They might wait to get in, but the law is passed. For a lot of these countries, we're probably going to see even more come out where they're going to be able to invest. And who knows, right? Exactly what this news might mean, but it's not news where a lot of this news that you guys see other YouTubers talk about, it's, you know, this bill could be passed. This bill could be passed. Yes, it could be. But this one was actually passed and they have the ability to invest now. So it is actually meaningful. This tweet was posted and it went a little bit viral on crypto Twitter. It's talking about the VCs, right? This VC, Moonrock Capital, we've talked about them, about how they're in the low tier VC list. Pretty funny, guys. Their company's falling apart now after this. They exposed them, basically going over exactly every project that this venture capitalist invested into early and debunked the crap out of them, showing that they just pump and they dump these projects, as you guys can see here. Retail participation, right? Here comes the distribution via dump by insiders and early investors, distribution via ending vesting early. It's pretty interesting. If you guys want to go give this a read, you would learn quite a lot. We've talked about this in other streams, but it is quite interesting to know. It's quite significant as well. But yes, great tweet. Suggest you guys look into it. But I'm going to start my charts, right? We're going to be going through how I set up my charts. Going to be starting with a blank canvas and going to be painting for you guys every single stream. So you can learn a lot, through my thought process. So what I look for, right? I look for these major supports and resistance levels with no indicators at all, right? We see we have resistance at this 35,000 level, right? We have resistance. We're below it. We drop below it. That's why I'm dropping this right there. And we need to put in at least 2 of these on the 4 hour, right? I'm going to put another one up here around this wick that we see. We also see this resistance right here. It's a lot more crucial, right? Look at the price action that we see between these 2 resistances, right? It's resistance, it's support. We break through, boom, large price action. We break down, large price actions down. Like these lines are very, very pivotal and important. Got some dry mouth real quick. How are you guys doing? We'll go through it, right? A little bearish on the charts today. I'm going to tell you guys exactly why I see it. We're going to show you how to set up these charts. What am I looking for? Okay, where are these support levels, right? Let's try and find the support level on the 4 hour chart, right? I would say somewhere around here is a good support. We see 1, 2, 3, 4. We have a little touch right there, as well as right there. So I'm going to put another support level exactly right here. A little bit lower. Try and grab up that. Right, so here's my 2 supports that we have on the 4 hour chart. I'm not using any indicators right now, just to explain to you guys how I'm going to do this. I'll throw on some indicators to get some more accurate predictions. Go on the 2 hour, right? Just looking a little bit more clear, right? Might add 1 or 2 resistances or supports that I can see, or move things around if it does not look good. Does not look tight. Just going to add another support down below here. This is just a lower support. If we break through this 29K, expect a large push to the downside. All right, so we're going to go on the 1 hour now, right? What do we see on the 1 hour? Right, so we see some support or resistance around this level, right? This is where we dropped off of. You see how we couldn't break down, we pushed out through, and we just retraced this candle on the downside. That's a pretty important zone, if you ask me, in the shorter time frame. Right, so what else? See anything else? Just some resistance here. Right, this is some resistance. So this is some support that we're seeing, that we're currently at right now. A little bit higher. Whoops. Oops, let me move this up a little bit. Yep. All right, so we're currently at this little support level, right? If we break down through this support and we break down through this support, expect to push to this 31K level. That'd be very, very easy for this to happen. At least that's what the 1 hour is showing. 90 minute, right? 90 minutes looking good. I don't think I've really missed much here. We do have these wicks down here. What should I do about this? Right? I'm gonna look at drawing some trend lines as well. Well, we're gonna stay away from trend lines. Just use support and resistance. Might get into that later. 25 minute looking good. 25 looking good. All right, so 15 minute, this is what you guys are going to be using a lot on the charts. You're going to be using the 15 minute quite a lot on the charts. It's very important zone. We have the 5 minute as well, and we have the 1 minute where you guys should stay away from, especially if you're new. All right, now I'm going to throw some indicators on the page. This is called next support and resistance. All right, next support and resistance. This will help signify what I see in the charts. All right. It's drawing out the next support and the resistances for me. It's giving me the crucial zones. This is on the 5 minute, right? This is on the 15 minute. Whoops. Right. Let's go on the 4 hour again. Let's look at these two zones that they're going to give us, right? So we have our support zone right here. If we break down underneath this, this is our next support that we see. Okay. So this is actually a very crucial zone that we're at right now. Like I said, if we break out of this 33K, we break down below it. We break down below this 32,500. We could have this push to the 31K zone. We have these bullish candles right here as well. These vector candles that could easily get covered up. So if we do break down out of this support right here, expect us to have some resistance at this 32,500 level, and then a breakdown to this 31K level if that does happen. Also, we need to be worrying about the upside. It's not showing, right? This isn't showing too much resistance on the upside. We already have our lines drawn, 34K resistance, 35K resistance. We're just going to keep those two zones. We're going to focus on two resistances, two supports, right? That's how you guys can really get accurate with the charts. So that's what that's showing. Shows a resistance up here, but that's on the 4 hour. 2 hour, going to give us more accurate predictions on this. We have a resistance up here, it says. I would say the resistance is more closer to this level though, on the shorter time frames, as we have this right here that's showing price action, likes that level right there to resist out of. All right, the 1 hour showing us that yes, all we have to do is break through this zone right here, and through this zone go to 31K. What about the upside? The 1 hour showing around the 34,500. Look at all these resistances that we have on the 1 hour. We have 1, 2, 3, 4. We have basically 5 resistances to push out of. We have a low bullish volume, by the way, right? Let's go look at the bullish volume down here. Look how low it is, okay? Look how low the bullish volume is, and look how high the bearish volume is. Still showing that we can push down to these lower levels is what that volume is showing. So very important that you understand that. This is where I'm getting this information from. Still have a lot more to get through. Not why I'm bearish, right? Not yet why I'm bearish today. Why was I bearish yesterday? Did the same sort of thing, okay? Also, when we were at this top right here, look how low the volume was. When we have low volume, it signifies a top. So when we were at this 36K and this volume right here died off, this is why I got bearish all of a sudden. Volume died off, not enough momentum to push through. We talked about that in last episode. But yeah, right now we have this higher bearish volume. So you guys see it's still pretty high right now and lower bullish volume. So we need a lot of bullish momentum to pick us up and break us out of these zones. If not, we're just going to be staying in these zones, or we're going to be going down into these zones, which is this 31K level. It's not yet confirmed, but that's what the 1 hour is showing, right? So we're looking at the 30 minute now. Okay, we're looking at the 30 minute. We're just going to keep on going down through this. Okay, we're going to keep on knocking these out, going down through them, seeing if we see anything different. So we're still having this support right here. It shows that we have another support around here, right? So the 30 minute is actually showing that this is the range. If we break down out of this, this is going to be the range you're going to be in. This support, this resistance, because when you break through support, it turns into resistance, okay? So this would be the resistance if we drop down into here, and then this would be the support. This is what the 30 minute is showing. We'll have a drop, boom, and we'll stay in some sort of area like this. We break down through that area. It's showing that this will be the next support down here at 30K900. The smaller the time frame with this indicator, the more lines it will show. So important. 15-minute kind of showing the same situation as the 30-minute, just a little bit more supports here. We have these two down here, but yeah, for the most part, not looking too bullish. This is what I'm looking for, right? We want to see that volume is playing a big role in what we're going to see in price. We see high bearish volume. We see low bullish volume. And if we saw low bullish volume and low bearish volume and price was going down, we would expect a breakout, by the way. That's a sign of a breakout is coming on the upside. We still do have bullish news out there, so it's got to be careful. Let's get into a few other indicators. I'll just throw on the EMAs. All right, we'll throw on the EMAs. We'll go easy. Throw on the RSI as well. All right. All right, so yeah, now everything looks complicated, right? Wow, everything looks complicated. It does not, trust me. It gets easier the more you do it. It's this not stochastic RSI. Throw on stochastic RSI. All right, so here we go on stochastic, right? Let's look at the 4 hour with the indicators. We look pretty low on the 4 hour, right? But we've seen lower in the past. Like, look at, we got low at this point. Boom, we still dropped down. So we still are at a low point on the RSI. This could be a push to the upside. But on this RSI, what is this showing right here? Right, we see some sort of divergence, right? You guys see the divergence right here? This is bullish divergence on the RSI. We have hit this bottom part right here on the 4 hour. Are we going to push up off of this? Possibly. If we break through, want to know what's going to happen when you break through trends, right? What happens? You have a large push to the downside. So we'll see how long this can go on for. But if we do break through trend, which is easily possible throughout today, you could expect that large move to the downside within the next couple of days. Pretty interesting, right? We'll just use this one, for example, so it lines up better. Like 1, 2, 3, boom, break down, right? That's divergence. This is a bullish divergence, but if it breaks down, we could push through this. And I could see that possibility as the charts are showing very, very weak volume to the upside. This could be the time where we break through this divergence that we see here. And that would possibly put us at a 31K level. If we break through this 31K and this 3,900 level, we're going to be heading down to this 29K zone. So this is the bearish side, right? If we push off of it, let's go on the 2 hour, right? That's on the 2 hour. Look at on the 4 hour or the 2 hour, it looks a lot different. We were looking at the 4 hour. 2 hour, we still see, right? We still see some sort of divergence, but not as strong as the 4 hour, right? We want to see this this range right here. We want to really be looking closely at these MAs as well. We know that we like the 50 MA on the 2 hour, right? We don't. On the shorter time frames, we do. On the 2 hour, normally we're going to stay away from it, but it's the sign of a pivotal point, which is where it's going to tell you price action is going to go. You guys look at every time we break away from the 50 on the 2 hour, what happens? And the 4 hour, we push up. And then when we break down below it, we push down for a long period of time. And we just broke down from it. So we'll probably see a little bit of a push downwards still. If we broke above it, you know, we could see a push upwards for at least, you know, 5%, 10%, whatever it is, the mean average of this. I believe it's around 4% movements on at least the past couple of days on this, because I did measure that out. But that's important to note. This is the 50, this yellow line that you see right here that's highlighted. That's what that's showing. All right, on the 1 hour, go into the 1 hour. Right, we see that RSI is still a little low on the 1 hour, right? 4 hours, it's showing that we're high still. Like I said, guys, you got to look at different time frames. 4 hours still showing high. We still see that bullish divergence with the RSI, right? We're showing that we are low on the 1 hour. Stock is coming up here. Momentum's kind of swinging to the upside on these indicators. We still could have that push to the downside. We're going to go on the 30-minute, right? 30-minute shows stock is extremely high. RSI is still low here. This is the overbought zone, right? By the way, guys, 70 to 80 is overbought. Underbought is this 30 below zone. It's important to note that both of these zones, right, doesn't rely on price action, just relies on momentum. So you can have different prices with different RSIs. So don't take them too heavily. So make sure as well that we're looking at the 15. I like to use the 15. I like to use the 1 hour, 2 hour, 4 hour, 15, 5 minutes, 1 minute as well. But that's when I'm trying to get confirmation or I'm scalping, and the 30-minute as well. I like to use things that are divisible by 5 or 15 minutes. Same thing, right? But yeah, that's what I like to use with my strategies. But why are you bearish today? Okay, why am I bearish? Because we have this support level. If this gets broken through, if this support gets broken through, right? We have this 32,520 level. If this gets broken through, we have this 31,200 level, and they are very, very close. And there's not much momentum and volume to the upside to really push through. We need to see that momentum break, and we have a lot of resistances above us than we do below us. I would say that we have more chance of breaking down, as also if we look to the left, we have this large candle, right? You guys see this large candle right here? We have recovered most of it. It's called a vector candle. If we push past this vector candle, which is around this 32,500, we have support here as well. But if we end up building up some, consolidating around this area, whatever it might be, we have a little breakout. We still have this side to go down to as well, right? So we could be recovering this push, and what we did was we recovered this push, as we talked about yesterday, would happen, and it exactly happened. But yeah, we need to make sure to understand that when you have this momentum that pushes us up to the upside, and we do come down, we consolidate, we don't have enough volume to bring us up like we did here, we're probably going to see a push to the downside. RSI doesn't calculate volume, all right? So you got to pay attention to volume. All these indicators might not calculate volume. Very important to understand when we're at low volume, it matters. It matters. I showed my indicators on the beginning of the video if you want to check them out, but this is what I'm looking at currently, okay? So we saw we pushed through this, okay? We saw we pushed through this. We still have this support that extends all the way from here, right? If you guys zoom out in the past, look how much support that we have at this area that we currently are at. A lot of support. It's going to take us a while to break out, a lot of momentum to break out currently where we're at right now. And if we do break down off this spot, right, we do have that push down to this 35,200 level that is very plausible based off of historical price action amongst these levels. Volume supporting it, this breakdown, right? We have historical supports and resistance are supporting it. Not saying it's exactly going to happen. It's just they're pointing to the downside, right? That's what I mean by they're supporting it, right? It's just pointing more towards that side. But yes, we do have this level where if we do break out of it, we still have this resistance right here that we have to break out of 33,900. Then we have this 33 or 34K, and then we have this 34,500 level. But we don't have too many volatile candles to recover. We talked about the volatile candles on the left, how easy they are to recover. But look at this one has only recovered half. What happened when it recovered half? It stalled out, right? It stalled out right here on this one on the 15-minute. What happened when we recovered half of this, right? We stalled out. But you have to understand that it's a lot easier for us to push on the downside because we don't see that volume. When we recovered this candle, right? Look at the volume that came in once we broke through the support right here. We had this resistance or the support line down here, and we knew that it was important. We saw the push through it because it's a major support, because it lines up exactly where we separate from this resistance, right? From this resistance, or would be support. We separate from these support levels, right? Right at this support level. If we break through it, we're going to see high volume to the downside because we don't have, any supports or consolidation around this area. So that's how we knew we were going to push down once we broke through this support. We break away from these levels. We're in free fall right here. And as of right now, right, we built up this resistance. It's going to be hard for us to break out to the upside. We are in a sort of ball right now. Yes, we do have fluctuations with price. We'll come up, we'll come down, we'll come up, we'll come down, right? But it's going to be hard for us to break out to the upside and to stay away from these support levels, which is why I am bearish on the charts today. Any questions, I can go through them. I feel like I probably should answer a few of your questions that you guys are confused at. But I do see us breaking through on the downside, right? This is going to be our bullish and bearish analysis. I am leaning more towards the bearishness. We already have seen that push, but we do have resistance, 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 and resistance. Very hard for us to break out. But my analysis is we break through this 33,100 level, which is the current level that we need to break through. We're going to come down all the way to around this 32,500 level. We'll have some consolidation around there, but we are very close to this free fall state like we talked about up here, right? The free fall state. If we break through this consolidation points, we have enough momentum to break through it on the downside. What is going to happen, right? We're going to recover this candle right here. And what's that going to send us to? Probably around this 31,600 level. We do have some support there. Let's go draw that support line. Boom, right? There's our support line right there. We also have this support as well. This is the consolidation area. If we break through this, we're probably looking for some downside. Right? Look how historical this is, right? Look at, we've had support here, support, 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 support. It works out because we see these movements in price. If you guys look and zoom out, look at how much price movement we've had at these red and these green lines in the past. And it always, always happens to some degree, some price movement in these things again. All right, so that's the downside. We are predicting that if we break through these current levels that we just talked about, we're going to be seeing some downside potential all the way down to this 31,600 to this 31,200. But we need to break through this current level of this 33,157 and get down to this 32,500 level. This is going to be the consolidation point. This is where we'll consolidate. Probably won't have enough momentum to push through this if we do push on the downside. So we're looking to get enough momentum if we want to go down, right? To break through these two levels to really reach these levels, right? To reach these levels. And we do have a lower level right here, which is the 30K, right? Look at the gap that we have, right? Look at this gap that we have between support and support. Large gap. So if we do break through this 31K, expect lower. I'll be streaming if we do. And I'll be streaming if we go through this upside, right? Let's talk about the upside now. It's a very simple analysis that I'm doing just based off historical support and resistance, a few EMA levels as well. We can get into more complex stuff, but you guys need to take it step at a time before you get into complex stuff. You need to take baby steps before you guys really understand and validate your TA. You need to understand it yourself fully. So it's something that you guys can do by looking up on YouTube how to do X, Y, or Z. Showing exactly, you need to understand your entry points, you need to understand your exit points, and you need to understand when are you taking profits, where's your stop loss. If you look up a strategy, right, you guys are like VWAP, EMA strategy, exit, entry, whatever it might be. You need to be doing that because you could write down your strategy, and once you master it, you can move on to the next one. It's very important that you guys master all of these things in baby steps. You don't just jump into trading without mastering a few concepts. It wouldn't be worth it. All right, so let's go to the free rise state. All right, where are we seeing this rise in price? Okay, guys, yeah, look at the 4 hour. Look at how we have this support here. If we break really far below, it's showing that these lower levels are in play, right? But what happens? It came back up to this support, and we are staying right here. But let's go into the upside. Let's see if we have much resistance here on the upside. We know we have these resistance, but I'm just showing you what you guys can do. It's a very easy indicator, right? Extremely easy indicator showing you how you guys can use it. We always see price movement, large price movements when we break down through this resistance. Look at, we came right to this support, and then we kind of consolidated around it. Next support and resistance, right? We do see on the 2 hour, right? We have this resistance right here. Support turns into resistance, but we do have this 34,600 level on the 2 hour, right? 2 hour is not going to catch all these resistances that we have. We can retrace this candle on the 2 hour or the 1 hour, obviously, but it's going to be hard, right? We do have this resistance right here as well that this is not picking up. Look at 1, 2, 3, 4 resistance right here. This is going to be a hard resistance to break. We also have one at this 33,800 level to break out of. We see that if we see that push to the upside, right? If we see that push to the upside, we need to see these two levels right here, this 33,900, this 34K level be broke through. And we need to see this next push has to have a lot of momentum to break out of this area that we see here on the other side, right? Need a lot of momentum on the volume. Let's see if we can do it. I highly suspect that we'll probably have some push to the downside, but it's not 100%, right? I'm prepared for both sides. I really could care less what happens as long as I'm prepared for opportunity, right? There's going to be opportunity either way if you're playing it right. And understanding that there could be a bullish and bearish movement is how you catch opportunities, you know, as much as you can. But yeah, focused on the downside, but besides the point, we would have to break through this 38 or 33,800 level. And then we also have this support here or resistance here at 34K. We have another one here as well at this 34,300 level. And we do have a lot more resistances than supports. And the volume is headed towards the downside right now. It's pointing bearish. Once volume picks up, and let's say we head towards the bullish side with volume, then we could switch back to maybe looking for what's going to happen in price action when we get there. But as of right now, volume does not look too promising for the upside. But we'll have to see, right? This is just my short-term bearishness is only me including, right? The next time the charts change. It could be 6 hours, could be 4 hours. But as of right now, as of this moment, short-term bearishness, right? We have the consolidation here. You guys see this large green candle right here, and we retrace it. This is showing that we tried to break out. We couldn't break out here on the 1 hour. We retraced it down, and now we're consolidating in this new range. We do have this support here, right? We have the support here. If we break through this, we are looking to get down to this 32K level. If we break out, we have to break out of 1, 2, 3, 4 supports to get to the same level that we're at. Volume's pointing towards it. EMA, right? It's the 50 EMA. We talked about this. This is on the 1 hour, right? When we break away from it, we have a push down. When we break above it, we have a push up. Look at how we break down. We have a large push down. We break above it, boom, push to the upside, right? We break below it, little push here, but we had the momentum switch. The momentum switched right here to the upside. Boom, momentum switched to the upside. We broke through this resistance, right? You would have gotten this trade wrong, but you would have still been able to catch it because you noticed that we broke through this level. We broke through this major support, and you knew that we're going to have some upside. You would have probably sold around this major resistance that we have right here, and it would have been, you know, fun time. Right, we break off of this 50, we test the 50, boom, downside. We test the 50, boom, downside. This is how the charts work on the longer time frames. This is what you need to be looking at. But yeah, that's the price predictions for today. Bitcoin is looking bearish. I'll be doing some more streams. We'll be going into TA, deep into TA on a bunch of things. But you guys need to know the sentiment. What's going on in the market? You're all here to make money. What are the charts showing? What can I look at the charts for? And, you know, what's your opinion? You guys don't need to follow my opinion. You should have your own opinion as well on what's happening in the charts, but it helps to see some things in a different light. This is a very, very simple strategy on just market structure, support and resistance, no trend lines, no diagonal, right? This is just showing, look at the price action we see at these supports and the resistances with historical data. We see them, right? We see them. Look at, boom, test the resistance once, right? Boom, we break down. Boom, we break down. These are just historical sets of data that have been taken about where price action is at a certain point. It's not some trend lines, okay? If your trend line lines up with a support or resistance, it's great, right? Then you have more confirmation. But that's going to be the end of me talking about that. Let's go. All right, so wick off with your left or right hand. I can't answer that question, right? Turn on the monitor. All right, so not much questions from you guys. All right, not much questions from you guys. Expert just placed a camera, 24/7 trading. No. My opinion is you and George are whether you like being George or not. I'm not the best at giving news. I'm sorry for the awkward, right? I will get better at it. I will get better at giving you guys news that's important, Because why? You guys need to know news that has price action involved with it. Will this actually affect the market? Will it affect the market short term, long term? That's what you're looking for when you're reading a news article. Like, yeah, you might care, you might be interested in the technology, whatever it is, but for the most part, a lot of you are here just to figure out, is this going up? Is this going down? Why? And like, how is this going to affect it? Which is what I'm trying to do here with the news when I do share it. All right. All right. Where are the longs and shorts now? All right. We can go through the longs and the shorts now. I'll pull that up. Let's go to Crypto Quant. We'll go look through the longs and the shorts right now. I'm sure that the shorts are winning right now. As we did have that push down. Large push in volume, by the way. It's a very, very large push in volume that we saw right there. Like, look at these candles, right? These are called vector candles. They could easily be retraced to the upside, but we do see that we tried to do it. We couldn't have enough volume to retrace this vector candle. And we do have these lower levels down there. Right? If we can retrace that vector candle, right? We couldn't, right? We only got 50% of it, which is normally when we break down off a vector candle, like 60, 70%, we will break down. Don't expect to get 100% out of every single vector candle. Doesn't mean that, you know, we're switching altogether. All right, boom, Crypto Quant. Let's go full screen. Boom, right? All right, so Bitcoin, let's go into market indicator. Where's the average estimated leverage ratio? Yeah, I like Crypto Quant. I like on-chain data. This is the stuff that, you know, it's important to know on-chain data. It's important to know some news. But if news doesn't affect on-chain data, it doesn't affect price, you know, you guys are looking into stuff that's not really going to affect your investments. It could give you a different perspective. Yes, it could. But you're more worried on what is going to affect your investments, right? Than just some random news articles. Most of you are, at least. You know, I'm into the technology side of things, but very important to understand a lot of these news articles will not affect your investments. And if they do, they're important, and I'll talk about them. All right, not sure where that market data is about shorts or longs. Let's go shorts. All right, go to QQ Lab beta. I think it could be in here. All right, yeah, here it is. So short liquidations, we're still higher than on the daily for short liquidations. Let's go on the hour. Okay, let's go on the hour chart. Computer keeps turning off because I keep moving it. Longs got liquidated, right? Longs got liquidated right here. They've been getting liquidated in the past couple hours. Shorts still have been getting a little bit liquidated, but as of right now on the hourly chart, showing that obviously that shorts are winning. We can tell that in price action, but shorts got liquidated pretty hard right here on the minute chart. But on the daily, right, on the daily chart, we still see the absence of a large long liquidation, right? We see large short liquidations, but we're still absent from a large long liquidation, right? If we did have one of those happen, we would be looking at a very, very steep price. It's going to happen within the next probably week or so. We have one, you know, we have one actually every 3 or 4 days. We've been having one. If I'm looking at this chart correctly, every 2 or 3 weeks, and we have been absent without one. So one is going to come, and I'm going to tell you guys that one is going to come. We're going to be prepared for it, and hopefully you guys have a great rest of your day, and make sure to really understand how things move, they operate, and to like the video and subscribe. I'm sorry, that's so bad.